Welcome everybody to another judging during the summer 2025 for the Tavern Games. We've got a lovely set of hosts and judges here who are going to be talking over like the winners and each person who got like a category sort of like win overall. Essentially, as with all game jams, we'll start this time with the winners. So basically we'll get that over and done with, and then we'll go on to each category and who won out of that. The way we're going to be giving feedback is essentially we're going to give one thing that we enjoyed about your game and one thing that could be better if you had more time. Again, we understand that people may have had different circumstances, solo devs, multiple teams, things could have happened. Again, you only had a week, but just to sort of say at the start, we're all really impressed with the amount of like level and sort of polish you guys all had. So big round of applause to everyone who took part. Amazing work on all ends. And yeah, so what we'll start with first, I'll let the judges introduce themselves, and then we'll jump to the criteria for each of the games. We'll try and be a bit quick and snappy, and if you've got any questions, please do feel free to reach out to the judges, as they're all on the Discord anyway. We'll start with Fahim. If you want to give yourself a little intro as to who you are, what you do, and what you were looking for in the jam.
Hey everybody, I'm Fahim. I'm an animated illustrator. I've worked on shows, documentaries, the whole shebang, and I've been involved in a lot of game jams, and it's been really, really fun to look at your games. Can't wait to talk more about it.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Jolene. I'm a composer, and I work on sound as well. I have worked on films, games, TV animation, TTRPGs as well. I've been focusing on the music and sound of the games, and I have to say it's really, really good. This selection has been fantastic.
Hello, I'm Marel. I'm a indie game dev and a pixel artist, and I'm also the first ever winner of the Tavern Jam.
You do have the bragging rights for that. Do have the bragging rights being the first winner of the
That's
first
my
game.
entire reason for being a judge.
That's all he needed for credentials. 2 years ago he won and he's not let that go.
It doesn't matter that there were 3 entries. I won.
You did. Fair is fair.
Yeah, so a win is a win, dub is a dub. Overall winner is going to be Salt versus Pepper. I think this is a solo project. I think we saw my TV. Grand applause for overall winner. Amazing, like genuinely amazing game, and we will now give you some feedback. So we'll start with Fahim again, and then we'll just go first with every other judge as we go across. So remember, just one thing that we enjoyed and one thing that they could improve if they had more time.
Right. So for Salt versus Pepper, for me, it was the most addictive core gameplay loop. I think they nailed it on the head with the game design. And the one thing I would say is they could improve on is the UI or the way they introduce the player into the gameplay. Because while it is addictive, I think it wasn't as easy to understand as a new player.
Overall, I really do enjoy Salt and Pepper. I think like the way the game kind of works and how the animation and the colors kind of pop, it does kind of feel very addictive. I really agree to what Fahim has said. I do have a suggestion whereby the sound could be fixed, like as in like it does have a very loud factor. It does kind of do a little jump scare, especially when you hit that little timer. So maybe we could adjust the volume a little bit, or maybe have the option to adjust the volume, and that would be awesome.
Do agree with that. But yeah, lots of little things. I was going to emphasize, because this was a thing across all games, playtesting very important. So if you had more playtesting, definitely could have tweaked it out a little bit.
Well, the usage of the team and the gameplay loop are immaculate. Like, it was the best I have seen in a while. But I think what you can fix are some quality of life stuff, like having an audio slider for the music, having a better UI layout and stuff like that. Just simple things that you pick up as you develop the game dev journey, as you go along your game dev journey.
All valid. Yeah, and in terms of, for me, I also found it really addicting. I think if you watch the stream, it was one of the games I played for a little bit longer. It was really fun just to work out techniques. Figuring out the game is really, really easy. Just pick up and play. You could skip tutorial, you could skip everything. It all makes sense. Sound effects, all of that worked really well. In terms of what could be better if you had more time, I feel like could have probably experimented with like the timing of when you got weapons, because I felt like the first bits were a bit slow, but then once you got the weapons, the game felt a bit more fast. So that would be the only bit of pacing. Again, if you had time to play test, or if you did or whatnot, could tweak around, see how that could switch or how you can implement more things. But overall, worked really well with the theme in terms of changing states of the weapons that you got and physically changing states of, you know, being active or inactive as a player. So yeah, very, very solid all round, and just impressed us of how addicting a really simple concept was. So again, one final round of applause, and we'll get on to the other categories. Phase through, who was the overall like best design of the game. So this is the one that we felt was the easiest sort of to pick up and play and sort of understand. So this time we'll start with Jolene. So would you like to give your bit of feedback on Phase Through?
Sure. I really do like Phase Through, especially how cute the art style is, and it's very easy to pick up, especially. And I think it was quite fun to kind of see the change of states in that sort of method. I do have some sort of feedback, which is like maybe it's the way that we control the character. I think that the keys was kind of a little bit awkward for me, at least when changing. Well, the changing state was fine, but just moving around could be a little bit more towards another set of keys or another set of controllers.
But yeah, well, I think most of us had similar comments on controller, but Alexa, would you like to give your next bits?
No, Phase Through is one of those games that doesn't need any text to get you into the gameplay. Once you boot it, it's so simple yet so good that you instantly fall into that gameplay loop. What I would fix are some minor things like being able to shift while jumping. I think that would work, or I think that would give more opportunity for better level design, and the level design here is very superb. And I would put on that floor below the player so that he dies when he falls all the way through.
I will also follow up on that, giving my own bits of feedback. Really enjoyed, like, overall, like, once you understood how the game works, so like, actually this is really fun to try and navigate the space, and you know, it's something that you don't really see in terms of platformers, like mechanic, changing state between light and dark, and how that can build a level. Like, again, levels designed pretty well, pretty enjoyable, and definitely saw a lot of potential to do more challenging things. I think one of the things we wanted to see was more mechanics if you had more time. Basically, like, even if adding like moving platforms or slight puzzles you could have solved around it, could have made for like a little bit of a change of place as you progress throughout the game. But overall, for like a solo thing in a week, like, genuinely impressive how like fun, and it's like how a simple concept was also really, really fun. Bahim, would you like to give the final bits on Phase Through, please?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the genius of Phase Through was the simplicity of it, but also the ingenuity of using the negative space to guide the player through the level. Absolutely loved that. That definitely added to the ease of understanding for me personally. And in terms of the one thing that could have been improved, or just in general feedback, I think I'd have loved to see a bit more polish in terms of the animation of the character, you know, some more movement. Just bring, because the character is already so cute. I think could have done with a bit more, you know, love in that department.
Do agree with that as well. All right, so that was Phase Through. Now we'll move on to the overall winner for gameplay. So this is how fun it was to play, which was Meteor Blocks. So Alexa, oh yeah, we'll give a little round of applause. Got to do a round of applause for everybody. So we're trying to make sure, because Jolene's on like 1 o'clock in the morning time zone at the moment, so we're trying to make sure we're not too late.
We're good. I'm good.
we'll keep it going. All right, Meteor Blocks. Yeah, Alexa, would you like to give initial opener on Meteor Blocks, please?
Well, the gameplay is really fun. And I like the Tetris formula is already confirmed to be good, and I like the building upon it. All the additions are very good. Also, the roguelike elements I like really, really much. But the thing that I think needs improving is the art style, because it feels a little messy. And I think you could have explained some things better, but better and in less words than it was explained.
Yeah. Following on from that, we'll also say art style was like, it was fun. Like, you could tell what things were, so it's clear in that way, but definitely needed a bit more cohesion with the backgrounds, because again, I think like we all mentioned that the backgrounds became a bit too distracting with what you were actually trying to do, because I think for some of the things you added, they didn't have like a grayed out background on the actual like Tetris falling blocks. So sometimes when the animation would come in, it could distract a little bit on that end. But like overall, like very solid game. I pretty much just jumped in without really looking at anything, so it was just like, oh, I understood it. Took the gameplay of Tetris and added some really fun elements like with the ice destruction, which is quite fun to like quickly panic and make a new path. Like elements as well, like Alexa was saying, which is it was interesting to see what could work. So I know you guys added like a ghost block, which is sort of filled in things, which just made it like added a bit of like an easy thing if you wanted to go down that route. But again, felt like it was very well like balanced for whatever route of game you wanted to play, and it's just fun little elements. Fahim, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see so much potential with this game because of the core mechanics that they implemented that made it so fun in the first place. Like the roguelike elements, like there's so many directions you can go with that. And for me, it's probably the strongest. I do want to give a shout out to like the music and the art. For me, it was so cohesive, and I just loved it. Like the music was such a bop. It was probably one of my favorite from the jam. In terms of feedback, I think, yeah, I echo with what Luigi and Alexa said about the UI elements. I think the UI could have been improved a bit more, just so that the readability of tiles in a game like Tetris, that's probably your most important thing. So the readability of the tiles has to be, yeah, super focused in on.
Jolene, would you like to go next?
Sure. I really do enjoy this game, especially like the music, like what Fahim said. It was very, very immersive. I think I would like to also say that the sound effects was very, very interesting, especially the use of the blowings and stuff is really cool. I do like that, especially the nice one, guys. Yeah, it was a really fun game for me, but I think it would be better if it's much larger form. Like it's a great game, but it would be easy on the eyes if it's a little bit bigger. And yeah, agree on the other points where it could be more easier to look at the blocks more, and more easier indicator on like the changing of states. It does indicate, yes, but it just happens so fast.
Yes, yeah, that was another one we talked about. That, yeah, I think I suggested a little thing for that one, which is like if you can make icons that are a lot clearer and stand out, so when the game is going at its fastest pace, you can quickly check what it is. Because yeah, currently it was a bit difficult to tell what was coming up next. But overall, yeah, as we said, gameplay was like something we could sit down and play if we really wanted to for quite a long while. All right, so that was Meteor Blocks, and now for the overall winner for creativity, we put on Rooftop Cascade. So, round of applause for Rooftop Cascade. Nice. All right, so I think it's me starting. Let me get up my notes now. So, Rooftop Cascade. I really enjoyed the movement tech. Like, it was really fun to, when you tried speedrunning it, it was really fun just to be like, all right, I'm going to quickly switch to this, switch to that. I'm going to jump here, jump that. Now I've got more gravity so I can fall faster. Like, I felt there was a lot of potential there to make some really fun levels. Which, you know, the ones that you got there were like already like pretty fun, but if you had more time, definitely could have seen a lot of potential ways of adding more puzzles that utilize more of the elements. As yeah, sometimes like it was, we're only really using like one or two elements. Really, some of the other ones were not as utilized. But again, that's just stuff that you can go with further playtesting, if anything. So yeah, that would be literally like my only other sort of critique in terms of it could be better if it's just find better ways to utilize all elements within the level design. Because it felt like it was mainly focused on like one or two, and another just like a neutral, like more liquid element. But yeah, overall, very, very fun movement. Definitely enjoyed the platforming side of it. I'll pass it off back to Fahim again.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite just art styles. Aesthetically, it was very, very pleasing to just look at and play and go through the levels. I actually really enjoyed the level design in this. When there was a bit rage baity, I think it was very clever increase in difficulty from platform to platform. In terms of feedback, the one thing I would say is maybe the controls of the platforms. Each element could have had done with some more tweaking, because it felt a bit janky or slow in some parts. I know that was intentional, but I think maybe it's just a case of playtesting to see what that sweet spot is for each of those states of matter.
Julian, would you like to go next?
Sure. Overall, I think this one hits the spot on the creativity. I think I really do enjoy this sort of sciencey, sort of like state of changing of the water and things like that. It was really fun for me to play around. Also, just hopping on the fact that what Fahim said was like the changing of the elements could be a little bit more easier, like because it does get confusing when you're swapping between the elements. I also do want to note that some very fun sound effects could be added, especially when you when you hit the checkpoint. We could have some more of a excitement sound effects to just kind of give the players more of like a sweet achievement. You did it. Now you're moving on. Overall, it's a really good game. Hope that you kind of develop into more rage baity game. We love to see that.
Alexa, would you like to give closing thoughts on Rooftop Cascade?
Well, the thing that I liked most about the rooftop was the level design. I think that's a part of the game dev process that a lot of game jam entries miss, because it is a very difficult part of the game making process. And what I think would be approved is that you could add more usability for the liquid, because in my personal opinion I didn't have much use for it. I made it a long way just using only solid and gas forms.
As always, yeah, this is all stuff that you could easily figure out with play testing. So again, obviously as a week, love the sort of the way you creatively use, like, again, because this one, the theme, we really enjoyed just how you took a really simple concept and used level design to make a really interesting way of using such a like obvious choice of switching between like states of matter, but used in a really creative way with the platforming, which we were like, oh, we were not expecting it to be like this sort of well thought out, and obviously rage baity if you caught me playing on stream, hence where this has been referenced quite a bit. But yeah, so again, massive congratulations, that very, very fun like level designs, and would definitely love to see some more of how you develop if you do. All right, and I think the final one, which I think is no surprise to anyone, and the one that's the most polished, again, please excuse any pronunciation on the name. We assume it's called Behel Tawny. Again, if you want to correct us, please do let us know in the comments. But yeah, shit, I lost my train of thought. Best in polished. Yeah. Completely forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, best in polish. Fahim, would you like to open up with initial feedback and improvements, please?
I found myself just listening to the music, like pausing and just listening to the music for a bit because it was that good. And the art style, everything was so strong. Like, there's a reason it won the most polished, because it like everything fit well with each other. There was juicy animations. When the tower explodes, the explosion animation is amazing, is great, so detailed. It's just everything felt very tight. Like even the UI design, the buttons, the freaking cinematic. There's crazy level of detail to the game. In terms of feedback, I would say is I loved everything in terms of the art and music, but I do think the actual gameplay could have gotten a bit more love, where I feel like some maybe more interesting use of the theme potentially, with states of change. Like the elements was cool, but I think after a certain point it kind of got repetitive. So yeah.
Billy, would you like to go next, please?
Sure. I have to agree. Like literally, this has one of the most polished game that I've ever seen for this round, and I think I also like the fact that the attention to detail on all the audio stuff, such as exploding, the bullet hell sort of sound, and all of that has been done and thought out really well. So congratulations, guys. The music's also really wonderful to listen to. Feedback, yeah, I have to agree. Like the theme could be explored a little bit more. I felt like it could go a little bit more deeper into like what the changing of states could really reflect on the game. And also I think like the familiars were kind of like it was very interesting for me on the way each kind of reacts to, but maybe a more descriptive balancing of the familiars and the details could be great, just to understand what each has a special power or like maybe a special buff compared to the other would be good.
agree with all of that as well. Alexa, would you like to give your thoughts on L20, please?
I mean, I agree on everything with Fahim and Julian. I think the art style and music is amazing. It really blends together and it's really well made. And I think the gameplay loop needs some work, so it's not repetitive. That's a trap that a lot of tower defense games fall down into. You need some type of tower progression or enemy progression, and I think it could use they could have come up with a better use of the team.
Yeah, following on from that, I feel like that was the only thing that I got, at least on stream, because I remember I was like, oh, where does, like, you got your different elements, but where's change of state? Very neat mechanic of, like, being able to resource manage, but I feel like you could have, like, doubled on that a little bit more. So, like, instead of, like, having to buy towers, you could have just had, like, a set amount of towers and you had to work out a puzzle using changing states only once throughout the level to try and work out, like, a more optimal way of beating said levels. Like, you had like a very good initial concept of how for the theme. I feel like, again, even if you didn't have time for doing tower progressions, again, that can take a while depending on how much knowledge as well you have. Even doing something as simple as that, so it's like you've got 5 towers, place them where you want, but you can only change them once or twice. Now you have to work out how you change your states to beat each thing. Like something like that could have been a very interesting way of using the theme and not just make it like an obvious, oh, there's a water element, I'm going to switch to nature. Oh, there's a fire element, okay, I'm going to switch to water. Because that's, I feel like, where it sort of, that's where it peaked with the theme. It didn't go a little bit further with, oh, like, at least in comparison to, like, Rooftop Cascade, where it was like, oh, if you're a solid, you move super slow, you have all this, and this kills you. If you're a liquid or a gas, you can pass through all this, but you can't do this. And it was sort of working out as you want. It's just working out like an active puzzle, where this one felt a little bit more like, if there's more fire, you just put more fire. As you saw me in the stream, I was like, fuck it, fire shoots fast, I'm just gonna put everything in fire. Like, why am I gonna bother if I've got DPS? So I feel like that was the only thing that could have definitely been improved. But again, if you watch the stream, I literally played it for about like 20 minutes. Like, I completely forgot I was streaming, so did very well on it. The music was great, everything else was amazing. So that'll be my closing thoughts on that. Very fun game. Could have done a little bit more to focus on the theme, even if it meant we didn't get an intro, but the intro was really fucking cool, so I'm not gonna fully endorse it. But yeah, overall, round of applause to everyone who submitted. We had loads of really fun submissions. It was genuinely difficult to place who was gonna be who hit, because we could have switched any of these around. And
everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
Well done, everyone.
Yes.
You created a game.
That is the main thing. You submitted a working game to a jam within a week. That's probably what most devs can say.
100%. 100%.
Again, before we do like final sort of closing things of where you can find each of the judges if you wish to speak or to them more, please do remember that this was meant to be as a thing for you to learn and experiment. If you didn't get in or if you didn't get the results you wanted, just think of what you could do differently next time, be it like better team management. I know some people were having some issues with that, either trying to get in within the scopes. I know some people had issues with scope creep, as we always do, or just seeing like better ways to focus on one simple concept and how you can then steadily grow that over the week. And please remember to playtest. That is probably the most important one. I will always try to push. Yeah, literally, one day is all you need to playtest. Just send it to as many friends, families. If you want to put it on the Discord, playtest your games and let us tell you what needs changing, because that will, like, 100% increase your chances of getting even into the top 5 if that's something you're aiming for. But again, is what it is. We have these literally every other couple of months, so if you didn't get in this time, you've got plenty more chances until something happens where I physically can't make another jam. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Are there any closing remarks on your guys' end that you want to give, any feedback to any sort of beginner devs out there, or anything that you saw that people definitely need to make sure they do that you saw throughout the games, or is everyone happy with what you saw and just ready to move on to the final bits?
I just want to give a shout out to the other games that didn't make it to the top 5. You guys are also winners because you got a game done. And like, even if you didn't necessarily get a game submitted for the jam, but you still signed up and you tried, that's still amazing. Like, it's okay to fail, and that's what these jams are for. So
yeah. But yeah, if anyone who's made anything, please do put it on your portfolios. This is what this is for. This is just to blow out your portfolio with work that you actually want to do. So hopefully it leads to something at some point, somewhere down the line.
For for all the artists and game devs, just keep in mind that productivity is key to actually producing better and better works. And so just keep active on the server, keep active, keep joining game jams, and just continue to evolve in your journey. Because if you stay stagnant, you will just lose interest and demotivate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency is key. I think the one quote, if you people are into those like little quotes, like the level up 1% one I always took to heart, because it's like, even if you don't, like, showing up is the main one. So even if you just sign up to a jam, look at it and go like, oh nah, fuck this is too much. You signed up, you did one step, just make sure you keep consistent until you eventually get there, because it's, yeah. And as well, like we mentioned, you have the community, you have us as the judges who are more than happy to further discuss or further help. So yeah, we're always there. Now, closing remarks. We'll go in order of Fahim, Julene, and Alexa. Where can we find you, and what are you doing next? Just give a little shout out to whatever projects you're working on. If you're allowed to say, obviously, if it's under NDA, please just say it's under NDA, or at least, or to check out socials instead, just to clarify all that bit. So, Fahim, where can people find you, and are you working on anything next that you want to shout out?
Yeah, you can find me on all socials, Fahimation_art, which that's FAHIMATION_ART. And I'm currently working on a few projects that I cannot talk about. So, yay.
Moving swiftly on. Excited to see those, because I have an inkling as to I know who or what you're working with, but
Yeah.
I don't know what. But we'll discuss. Julene, what about yourself? Any upcoming projects, and where can people find?
Well, I am on all most of the social medias. You can find me at Jolene Core Music, which is JOLENEKHOR_music. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Music, most of the music streaming platforms. I'm working on an album, actually, a Dungeons and Dragons album, which would be coming out later this year. Otherwise, also a lot of NDA stuff, unfortunately.
As is the way. Oh yeah, I'm excited to see the happens. I think I saw in your story you're posting or doing some work on it.
Yeah, an album. Oh yeah, and on my watch, this is my upcoming single with a friend. We have everything planned out. Like, I can send you the details. It's called Maybe. It's on it's on Bandcamp if you want to like check it out. It's exclusively on Bandcamp at the moment, but it will be on all major streaming platforms on the 8th of August, which is also me coming back to London. There we go.
we need to plan me up on August then. August 8th.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll plan a little something. Yes. Send me the links. I'll put it in the description so people can go check it out as well. Same with you, Fahim, if you got any other projects that you can share that you wanted to give a shout out for. And finally, Alexa, where can people find you? And are you working on anything other than the one game that I've probably mentioned a couple of times already on stream that we're doing?
Well, right now I'm keeping it down low a bit, but you can find me on IG, rlmfreelance.it, and you can find me on Discord in the tavern, just under RLM. I'm working on a project called Lich Domes with the Big Man Luigi and Vestray Noise, and that's it for now.
Nice.
Yeah, so nice. You might catch on streams me doing some art a little bit every now and then, but we'll keep people updated on that as well. Obviously on my end, I am not doing anything like major creative. I've become a corporate rat for a bit so I can earn some money and live in London for a bit. But obviously on the side, trying to keep the community as much as going. In terms of what's coming up next, I think I said on stream earlier, Game Jam again on September, so that'll be the autumn one. We'll try and plan for. Anniversary again on August something, I forget the exact date. I think it's August 23rd. Be our 3rd year anniversary, our 4th year anniversary, officially.
Wow.
So I'll figure something out last minute and then publish it, and then it might all go horribly well, horribly wrong. Who knows? We'll see. Other than that, I think it's just more game jams. I'm going to try and see if I can do more streams, more game jams. So keep an eye out for those, depending on what I feel like, because as everyone has already probably experienced, I flip-flop between projects like nobody's business. But that's all good. Yeah, once again, thank you to all the judges. So round of applause to you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I know, obviously, time zone differences, particularly for you, Julian, in Malaysia. It's I didn't realize
it's
how
temporary. It's fine.
Temporary, but yeah, it'll be great to have you back in the UK to just have a catch up again over a pint or something. But yeah, and
Down for that. Very down for that.
of course, Alexa, I wish we could bring you in, but I don't know how the situation is in
We'll
your
come to
end.
Serbia.
I mean, yeah,
come here, Habibi.
we will. We'll make a little trip to Serbia.
It's cheaper to be here for a year than it is there for a month.
That is
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And the food and weather's probably better most of the time.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, once again, thank you to everyone who took part, anyone who helped out behind the scenes and whatnot. Yeah, give a big round of applause to all those as well. Yeah, so I think that's it. I'm gonna end the recording now and do a little debrief with the judges. So
Bye.
adios, everyone. I'm gonna stop
Bye,
with the recording now.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.